President of Tajikistan Emomali Rahmon and the Kyrgyz President Sadir Japarov have signed a historic border agreement putting an end to a long-standing and often violent dispute. Experts are already calling the deal a triumph of diplomacy. The Kyrgyz-Tajik border stretches around almost 1,000 kilometers, but unresolved territorial disputes have fueled periodic conflicts, the most recent of which occurred in September 2022. For more on this and other key developments in Central Asia, we turn to political analyst and expert Ozhet Shigirbayev. Ozhet, over to you.
Thank you, Dorian, for giving me the floor. I'm ready to share my top Central Asia news just in a moment. Kazakhstan and China are ramping up their partnership in the logistics sector, setting new records in cargo transportation and expanding infrastructure to boost regional trade. For instance, in 2024, more than 5,000 trains departed from the Xi'an dry port along the China-Europe route, accounting for 25% of all shipments, an unprecedented achievement. The Xi'an terminal has seen an astonishing 33-fold increase in cargo transportation, with total investments in logistics projects exceeding $200 million of USD. To further strengthen transit routes, several key infrastructure projects are set to launch in 2025. Such as terminals at Sviloj station in Belarus and logistics center in Budapest, Hungary. By 2026, these developments will form a comprehensive east-west terminal network, significantly enhancing the regional transit potential. Meanwhile, by February 2025, the Kazakhstan Xi'an terminal had already handled over 150,000 tons of cargo, a major milestone achieved in less than a year since its launch. Experts emphasize that the increasing freight volume is not only strengthening Kazakhstan's position as a key transit hub, but also reinforcing its role as a critical player in regional trade and economic cooperation. In a clear sign of deepening economic ties, trade between China and Kazakhstan reached $43.8 billion of USD in 2024, reflecting a 7% growth compared to the previous year. As infrastructure investments continue, Kazakhstan is solidifying its status as a major transit gateway, further integrating into global supply chains and enhancing connectivity between Asia and Europe. On March 4th, Georgian Prime Minister Mr. Irakli Kabashvili arrived in Tashkent on an official visit. During the visit, bilateral negotiations were held, along with a meeting of the Intergovernmental Commission and a visit to industrial enterprises. During the meetings, both sides emphasized the strategic importance of the Middle Corridor. Just a few days later, on March 7, negotiations took place between the President of Turkmenistan, Mr. Serdar Berdimuhamedov, and Georgian Prime Minister. Serdar Berdimuhamedov noted that Georgia is a friend and reliable partner of Turkmenistan. He also expressed confidence that the current visit of Prime Minister Mr. Irakli Kabakhidze to Turkmenistan would contribute to the development of bilateral cooperation and enrich it with a new content. One of the key areas of bilateral partnership is the transport and logistics sector. In this context, Turkmenistan has expressed interest in the implementation and development projects, such as the Black Sea-Caspian Sea transport route, Lapis-Lazuli, and green ports. Meanwhile, on March 6, 2025, the Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the Republic of Tajikistan to Georgia, with residence in Baku, Mr. Ilhom Abdurrahman, presented his credentials to the President of Georgia, Mr. Mikhail Kavelashvili. Taken together, this may indicate Georgia's growing interest in development relations with Central Asian countries, particularly in the transport and logistics sector. This year, the Ministry of Water Resources and Irrigation of Kazakhstan continues to work closely with neighboring countries on sharing transboundary water and protecting against the floods. According to Daniel Sharip, acting director of the Ministry's Department of International Cooperation, several meetings have already been held in this year with the Central Asian countries to determine the expected water volumes that Kazakhstan will receive. As a result of agreements with Uzbekistan, about 16 billion cubic meters of water are expected to flow into the Shardara Reservoir in Turkestan region during the 24-25 water management year. Kazakh water specialists rely on valuable experience from last year when 44 Commission and Working Group meetings were held with neighboring countries on transboundary rivers, 25 meetings of which were with Central Asian countries regarding the Sirdarya, Shu and Talas rivers. Earlier, it was reported that Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan had reached an agreement on the border description and prepared a treaty on the delimitation and demarcation of Kyrgyz-Tajik border. Kyrgyzstan's president, Mr. Sadir Japarov, stated that the issue of the Kyrgyz-Tajik border had been fully resolved. On February 27, 6 committees of the Kyrgyzstani Zhagorgu Kenyesh reviewed and approved the ratification of the agreement between Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan on the state border. That's all from my part. Dorian, giving floor back to you.
Thank you very much. It was our political expert, Avzhet Shikirbayev.